Today on Forbes, segregation, homelessness, neglect. 10 billionaires who beat the odds. It seems like luck is forever in America's billionaires' favor these days, with a record number of them, richer and more powerful than ever, and the stock market is continuing to ride high. But quite a few didn't start out that way. While plenty of these moguls were born rich or had big head starts in life through family connections, dozens of others came from little to nothing. True rags to riches stories that show just how far someone can go in one generation. Take Frank VanderSloot, founder of the wellness company Melaleuca, who spent his childhood working on a farm in Idaho and could only afford college by living in a laundromat. Recounting his favorite childhood Christmas gift, VanderSloot once told Forbes, quote, "My folks didn't have much money, but I was very excited when I was about 8, and my dad brought me home a cardboard box with holes in it, so I knew something was alive. There was a pigeon inside. He worked on the railroad, so he had caught it and brought it home." Now VanderSloot is worth an estimated $3.2 billion, a fortune that could buy a pet pigeon for every child in the United States. When Oprah Winfrey was a kid living with her single mother on welfare, presents were far from guaranteed. One year, when Winfrey's mom told her they couldn't afford to celebrate Christmas, she remembers dreading the moment she'd have to tell her peers that she didn't receive a single gift. But when a few nuns showed up at her house unexpectedly to offer food and a doll, it became the best Christmas of her life. Winfrey, now worth an estimated $3 billion, has tried to repay the favor by donating toys to tens of thousands of disadvantaged kids. VanderSloot and Winfrey are hardly the only billionaires whose childhood holidays were humble. Just a few weeks ago, Forbes recounted 10 tales of billionaires who grew up more like Tiny Tim than Mr. Scrooge. Here are a few of the billionaires with rags to riches stories. Harold Hamm, who now has a net worth of $18.5 billion, was one of 13 siblings born to poor sharecroppers in Oklahoma. As a kid, he helped out the family by picking cotton barefoot and then got a job at a gas station at age 16. That sparked his interest in oil and gas and led him to start a trucking business transporting water to oil fields. In 1967, he founded Continental Resources, which now produces 400,000 barrels worth of oil and gas per day. Hamm took the company private in 2022 in a $27 billion transaction. Koum, who now has a net worth of $16.4 billion, grew up in a house without hot water in a rural village near Kyiv, Ukraine. When he was 16, he migrated to California with his mother, who supported them with babysitting jobs and then a disability allowance when she got cancer. Koum also earned money as a grocery store cleaner. He went on to found the instant messaging company WhatsApp, which he sold to Facebook for $19 billion in 2014. He inked the deal on the steps of the social services office where he'd once collected food stamps. David Steward, who now has a net worth of $11.4 billion, grew up in the 1950s in segregated Missouri. His father supported him and his 6 siblings as a trash collector, mechanic, and janitor. The early days of Steward's technology solutions company, Worldwide Technology, or WWT, which he founded in 1990, were difficult too, with him foregoing paychecks and even watching from the office parking lot as his car got repossessed. Today, WWT generates $20 billion in annual revenue, and Steward is the richest black person in the United States. Rihanna, who now has a net worth of $1.4 billion, had a childhood in Barbados that was marked by difficulties, particularly because the now pop star's father, who sold clothes in a street stall, suffered from drug and alcohol addiction. Her stress manifested itself in regular migraines that were so painful, doctors suspected a tumor might be causing them. After wowing music producer Evan Rogers in an audition, she's gone on to release 8 platinum studio albums. Thanks to her cosmetics line, Fenty Beauty, which she co-owns with French luxury goods company LVMH, she's now one of the richest female musicians in the world. For full coverage, and to see the whole list, check out Monica Hunter Hart's piece on Forbes.com. This is Kieran Meadows from Forbes. Thanks for tuning in.